going on YouTube? Happy Friday to you. If you are here watching this thing, I should probably make sure that it actually is live before I do anything else. So I'll just take a look over. There I am. There it is. Excellent. If you are here watching this on YouTube, first of all, thank you very much. Um, that's very generous of you to spend some time with me. If you're watching this here live, I'm grateful that you're here. I got some really cool stuff that I'm going to share with you today. And if you're watching this on a recording, you might not know you're watching it on a recording, but you'll know, you'll eventually figure it out. If it's not Friday at about 12:30 Eastern time, then you're not watching this thing live. You're watching this on a recorded version of it, which you can feel free to leave a comment with your questions. But if you're here live, you can ask questions here in the chat. There we go. So what you are watching, by the way, is a simulcast of a live Zoom call that I do every Friday, about halfway through the day. Hey, what's up, everybody on YouTube? Thank you so much for being here. I saw you all just join. What you're watching is a simulcast of a live broadcast that I do via Zoom to my mastermind. So I've got a mastermind called Force Acceleration, the Six Figure Success Society, and we do a live Q&A a couple of times a week. The Friday tends to be a little bit of a lighter one, so I go live to YouTube and I answer a question that has come into me during the week. So I've got some great stuff that I'm going to share with you today. I think you're going to like this. The chat on YouTube, if you're here live on YouTube, a bunch of people just joined. If you're here live on YouTube, you can ask me questions in the chat, and if I have a chance to get to those, I will. Otherwise, let's get to work, which means I need to find the agenda and the notes that I'm going to be sharing with you, which I created before we went live because I wanted to be a little bit prepared. So there, 3 clicks, 1, 2 clicks, 2. Here's what we're going to be covering today. Here's our mission for today. First, I want to talk to you about how to get started with marketing on social media. This is just a thing that I hear. I have questions all the time. This question came into me on LinkedIn this week. How do I get started? Just taking that first step seems to be very hard for people. So I want to give you a straightforward plan today that's going to help you know exactly where to get started, but we're going to even do more than that. I want to show you how to get started, how to come up with ideas for what to create on social media, and then I'll even talk to you about a posting schedule so that you leave this talk today knowing exactly what to do. Then I want to show you some free tools that are going to help you get started. Sorry about that. Sorry about the cough. And then I'm going to tell you what not to do. And there's a big thing not to do. I'm going to show you an example of a message I got this week that is exactly the wrong thing to do. So I'm going to show you that coming up in a little bit. And then later in this broadcast, I want to show you how you can get, number 4, how you can get access to $3,997 worth of training for free. Like I'm not kidding around about that. I'll show you how you can get access to that. It's this incredible class that I taught. People paid almost $4,000 to be in this thing. You can go to my website and buy it right now for $4,000, but for being here, I want to give you access to that for free. All right. So I'm keeping an eye on the chats everywhere, and I'm glad you're here. So let's get going. First of all, how do you get started marketing on social media? The reality is, and listen up, you might want to write this down. There are people right now on social media who have the problem that you solve, no matter what you do, whether you're a bookkeeper or you help somebody with health and wellness, or you help people remove the anxiety that they're feeling in their lives. No matter what you do, there are people on social media right now who have that problem, and you can help them solve that problem. So when you think about how to approach social media to get started to market your business, the first thing that you should have in your mind is there are people right now who have the problem and I can help them with it. They don't need to be born. More people will come up with the problem over time, but there are people right now that you can serve. Here's an example. Me personally, I help business owners do 3 things. I help them increase the profit in their business. I help them get their clients better results, and I help them have fun and find happiness in their business. And I do it by helping them feel confident in approaching marketing their business. I help them feel balanced in the way that they serve their clients. And ultimately, when you can make more money and get your clients better results, the joy and the happiness and the fulfillment that you wanted when you started your business just comes back. So we help them find that as well. Those are the three big things that I do. And so right now on social media, on the internet, in the world, there are people who want to make more money in their business and they want to get their clients better results. You started your business to get people results. Why wouldn't you want them to get the best results imaginable? And they just want to be happy doing something that they love. So for more than 2 decades, I've had thousands of people pay me as clients to help them do that. Those people, the original point is the people that you can serve exist right now. There are people like that right now on the internet. I was just doing the research the other day. 5 million people this year will start businesses in the United States alone. 5 million. Every single one of those people is going to discover, first, it's harder to make money than you thought. Second, it's harder to find clients and get them the best results than you thought. It's fine. Happens to everybody. No big deal. Third, you're happy when you start your business. We all were. But when it's hard to make money and it's hard to find clients, that happiness goes away. So the people that I can serve, there are 5 million of them this year alone. There were 5 million last year. Sadly, about 80% of them are no longer in business, but that's okay. It's still a million. And 5 million new this year. So the people that need me are out there. You might be one of those people right now. By the way, if you are, thanks for being here. And maybe you even how dare you? Even in early childhood education, of course your clients are out there. They're the young children. You're even listen, even in early childhood, Sally, even in early childhood education, your clients are there. It's it's not necessarily the children because the early childhood, of which I'm an expert because I've got a bunch of them, and they were one of them's in early childhood right now. Those kids can't pay you, right? They don't have bank accounts, but their parents can, their caretakers can, their guardians can. The people who are responsible for their education can, the charter schools, the Montessori's, the public schools. Sally, I don't know what you do to help people in early childhood education, but if you can help people en masse, then your mission is to find the people who need you. There, if you're let's just start simply with like Montessori schools that are helping children in an alternative way of educating them. Your job is to find the decision makers within those schools and present a solution to them to the problem that they have that you can solve, whatever that, I don't know. I only know you from 5 words, from the 5 words that you posted. So I don't know what problem you solve for these people. But if there's a problem you solve in early childhood education, whatever it is, identify who the person is who will pay you for that solution. And as you're going to see today, I'm going to show you how to create messaging that gets them to become the acronym that I use, problem aware, PASS. That's problem aware and solution seeking. I'm putting that in the chat. Your job is to find the people who are problem aware and solution seeking. Now, they might not have all of that. You might just find the people who have the problem. So now your next step is to make them aware that they have the problem. They might not be aware. So Sally, I'm speaking directly to you, but every single person listening to this will benefit from this. You help solve a problem. Sometimes people aren't aware that they have the problem. So your first step is to create content and messaging that makes them aware that they have the problem. Now that's different for everybody here. I've got to keep this general because there's a large audience, right? I got to keep it general for everybody. But I mean, if you want to brainstorm with me, I'm going to put a link in the chat. We can brainstorm and figure out what that messaging is. It's prouty.me. That's my last name's Prouty. It was given to me at birth. My mom and dad gave that to me. Prouty.me. And just hop on my calendar. We'll brainstorm about the messaging. Not a sales call. You'll By the time you get there, you'll already know. You'll ask me. I don't have to ask you. Not a sales call in disguise. So problem aware solution seeking based on Sally's 5 words. And Sally, I'm so grateful for you and for that, even in early childhood education. So early childhood education, these are Montessori schools, these are charter schools. Even before that, these might even be independent children's centers that are handling kids who are 2 months old. Pardon me, who are 2 months old, like that early in childhood education. That's like if you can solve the problems there at 2 months old, right? You can solve those problems. It's a license to print money at that point because every day more children are born. You have a limitless supply. Hold on, I want to read you. I want to read this. Thank you for that. I really have to think about how I can utilize my childhood background to solve problems parents might have. Okay, Sally, this is all about you today. I'm going to make this all about you today. But I promise everybody else who's here, you'll benefit from this as well. For those who joined, we're talking with Sally, who has a background in early childhood. So, so Sally, listen, my university degree is in two of them, mathematics and education. I have a degree in education. So you and I are aligned in that. Although my education is with not early childhood, it's with like seventh graders and up. But that was a long time ago. I don't even want to tell you how long ago that was. So, but I understand how the educational system works. So you want to help parents. So your mission is going to be what's the problem, the burning problem that parents have with their children early childhood. I'm going to say 2 months because those first 8 weeks, the parents aren't doing anything, but you know what happens in the first 8 weeks. Like it takes 8 weeks for you to even figure out that there's a new child and you're still trying to figure out what time bedtime is. But after that, at about the 2 month mark, that's when I think early childhood begins and early childhood development is most profound. At that point, if you want to talk serious here, you want to help people with the stress that they're feeling, with the overwhelm that they're feeling, and you want to give them simple tactics to help make sure that they're raising children that have the ability to become like a well-rounded, productive middle child, middle, not middle, like beyond toddler, whatever that age is, like preteen, all the way up to preteen, even into teen. So your job is to look at what are the benchmarks. You know this better than I do, I bet. What are the benchmarks? When is their genius unlocked? Bev, you're here on the Zoom. And Marina, you know this as well. Is it like, I think it's like age born, day zero to like about age 6, that's when the most tremendous amount of genius appears. Then it goes away from like 7 to 10. And then at about 11, that genius reappears for a brief time, about 18 months to 2 years. In that time, if you can, um, okay, Sally, I'll get back to that. I'm grateful for that. What are the problems that they're facing? So working parents looking for care for their children and how do they, that's what Sally just commented on and gave us, that little bit of extra detail. I think it's even going to go beyond that for you. I want you to like narrow that focus a little bit. Working parents who are looking for care for their children that's not going to just sit their children in front of SpongeBob and create here's the wow. Here's the problem, Sally. You ready? The ability for the parent to not create a child with a 6-second attention span. And if the parents are both working and they're putting the child somewhere, How can they evaluate where they're putting that child so that that place isn't deteriorating the things that are ultimately going to make that child successful in future life? Like this, Sally, these are the things that you're going to have to start thinking about. Because a working parent that's looking for childcare, they're just going to message all their friends and they're going to say, "Where do you put your kid?" Or they're going to be reaching out to the in-laws. Is there any way you can? I got to get back to work, right? That's too easy a problem to solve for a lot of people, unless you're helping underserved and they're trying to find free avenues. And maybe what if you have a background in early childhood education, then what I want you doing is I want you working with the parents who are caring about from early on at the first suggested signs of genius that they're putting their kids in a place where that caters to that level, that isn't going to deteriorate their attention spans, that isn't going to put them in a position where it undermines what the parents want to do at home. So let's dig into this a little bit, and I'm going to get back to what I wanted to teach you today. Let me share the screen. But Sally, that is pretty awesome. So in the mastermind, Sally, you're getting some advice from people in the mastermind. So I'm going to share this with you. Um, I don't know. This is gold. I don't know, Bev. This is kind of gold. In the mastermind, which you're watching a simulcast, one of the members says, start a membership group for other early childhood educating educators. That's one option. Another is, and somebody else says, the parents who care that their children have a longer than 6 second attention span, people will invest in that, and they really will. They really will. I don't want to give too much away there because that's actually something that I'm really inspired by. And you never know, you might see something come out of me that works on that as well. You just might. You heard it here first. So membership programs would be interesting for you, Sally. Sally's giving, I hope it's Sally. Somebody's giving a bunch of hearts in the YouTube. So Bev, those might be for you. Okay, so let me show you how you come up with ideas to bring this to social media to get people who are. So I mentioned earlier problem aware, solution seeking. So we start with the people who have the problem but aren't aware of it. So your first set of content is going to be to bring awareness to the problem. Now you've got people who have the problem and are aware of it. But people who have a problem and are aware of it aren't necessarily solution seeking. So the next thing that you have to do is you have to identify or help them identify that there's a solution. This is for everybody out here, not just Sally. This is for everybody, everybody on the Zoom, everybody on the YouTube. If you're looking to get started, we have to be focused on here. Let me write this down for you. I'll write this down for you. Here. I want to use the right font. So I'm just going to copy this and bring this over here. Problem aware and solution seeking. Okay, that's PASS. Remember that. So the first thing that's going to happen is people have the problem. You need to make them aware. Your job is to make them aware. Okay, so you make them aware through your content. In a moment or two, I'm going to show you how to create that content. So your first job is awareness. You want to bring awareness to the problem. Once they're aware, you have to let them see that there's a solution. You have to show them there is a solution. Because just simply because people are aware of the problem, they don't necessarily want a solution. That's why there's overweight people, right? That's why there's people who have negative bank accounts. They have a problem. They're aware of it. The scale is telling them, the bank account is telling them, the collection calls are telling them, but they're not aware of what the solution really is. And there's a lot of nonsense out there that's not helping them. So you've got to help them identify that there's a solution. Now they know there's a solution. We have to push them to seek it. We must push them to a place where they are seeking that solution. So those are the phases that you have to go through. Problem aware, solution seeking. Everybody has the problem. Your whole market has the problem. Some of them aren't aware of it. So now we bring attention to the problem. Now they're aware. But they're aware of the problem and they're like, well, what do I do? I just figured out that this is true. Now I'm scared. Now I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to turn. Well, it's fine. There's a solution to this. There is? Well, does the solution work? Will it work for me? Can you bring me that solution? Yes, yes, yes. Now they'll seek out that solution. Because you made them aware, you will become the, ready? Last point on this, and then we'll get into some strategy. This makes you the sole source for the solution they seek. Okay, this will make, Sally, everybody, this will make you the sole source for the solution they seek. So how do we make this happen? Pardon me, I gotta, hold on just one second. The worst, the worst. I lost my voice for a week, and this is what happens when it comes back. My voice coach, I don't have a voice coach. I have a client who's a voice coach. She yells at me every week. Don't clear your throat. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to do? Green? I don't want this color. I don't want this thing to be green. So let me just, I'm really just going to use the most boring gray color here. Okay, you ready? Here is how you do all of this. Here's how you make people problem aware and solution seeking. It's really simple. Here they are with the problem. Here they are with the solution. Okay, these are two different two different states. This is the start, this is the finish. This is their current situation. This is their desired situation. We hope. We hope that once they realize they have the problem, we hope that they want to solve it. The way that they get from the problem to the solution is, say it with me, is what, Sally? What is it? What is the way they get from the problem to the solution? It is through your service. Okay, so this is your service that brings them there. This is, so speaking directly to you, Sally, that's really very nice. Thank you. Speaking directly to you, Sally, your service, you have a background in early childhood education. Okay. This is no need to pass. Oh, somebody wrote pass. I thought they were like passing on the lesson. I see what you're doing now. Problem aware solution seeking. I got you. I got you. Sally, you have a background in early childhood education. Most people study early childhood education to do what? To go into a school, maybe start as a teacher's aide, then become a VPK teacher or a kindergarten teacher, maybe work your way up first, second grade, or maybe not. Maybe you go into the Montessori's or the high end. You go into the high end, and that's fine. That's fine. That's what most people do. But Sally, you're here. I have a feeling, Sally, and correct me if I'm wrong about this. I have a feeling that you're sitting there and you feel like you have a tremendous amount of potential inside of you that is untapped, and that you want to do more with that potential than just going into a classroom. I feel like, and again, if I'm wrong about this, you got to tell me. I feel like you want to affect thousands, tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of children versus 20. So I will watch for that in the chat. Let me know if I'm wrong about that. I feel like you have a feeling that you have a tremendous amount of untapped potential that you want to come out. And you want to take your early childhood education and you want to do something bigger with it. You want to have more impact on the world. Correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm wrong, just say, no, I just want to work in a classroom. So it's your service, back to this, it's your service that gets them there. I have to get back to that screen. So here is how we use this model to come up with content for social media that helps people become aware that they have the problem, that shows them that there's a solution, that the solution will work for them, and that you're the sole source for the solution they seek. What I want you to do is this. Break down your solution. Sally, this might be harder for you because you're still coming up with this. 20 minutes ago, this didn't exist for you, but it does now. And that's beautiful, isn't it? I want you to break down the solution into 3 steps. Step 1, step 2, step 3. It would be irresponsible of me not to give you an example of this. So the problem that a lot of entrepreneurs, service-based business owners have is that they know their clients are out there. They just don't have a way of getting them to come to their business. And really what they're just looking for is to make money doing something they love, get great results for the people they serve, and to find joy in what they do or to have a little bit of fun. So I help them do that by first optimizing their presence on social media and on the internet, on their website, everywhere that they look, they have an optimized presence that clearly demonstrates that they can help someone solve a problem. Then I help them optimize their audience. Step 2, optimize your audience so that the right people are seeing them at the right time. And then I help them optimize their offer. And their offer is what they do for people. With the right offer, the people who are problem aware and solution seeking say, that's what I've been looking for. Optimize your presence, optimize your audience, optimize your offer, and those 3 steps help you get to the solution. So the point of that example is, if those are the 3 steps that I use to take someone from problem to solution, all of my social media content should be about optimizing your presence, optimizing your audience, and optimizing your offer. If all of my social media content is about that, then what I've done is I've shown people the clear path from the problem to the solution. I'm doing it right now in this video. We've talked about optimizing your presence. We're talking about optimizing your audience, who it is you serve. So like this video is an example of this process. So if you're looking to get started, spend some time defining the problem that people have. Spend some time defining the solution that you bring them, and then break it down into 3 simple steps. All of your social content is based on these steps, and that's it. When you do that, all of these things happen automatically. Sally agrees. So true. I left early childhood and went back to school for a degree in cybersecurity and networking. I'm so all over the place. Oh, people here on the Zoom, ready? I'm at a standstill and not sure what I should be doing anymore. Sally, just hop on with me. I'll get you squared away. Beyond the scope of this call today, I will get you squared away. I can get you squared away in 3 questions. There are 4 questions. I could ask you 4 questions that will get you squared away. Find a time on my calendar. It's not a sales call. I'm gonna give you the direction. Anybody else here, you can hop on as well. I'll get you squared away. Okay. let's finish this up. Oh, I got 9 minutes to finish this up with you. Got to hurry up. Okay, so all of your social content. Here's how you get started. You get on the socials and you create content that takes them through the steps. That is going to help them become aware of the problem. That's going to help them see that there's a solution. They will seek that solution. Why? Because all you're doing is writing about that solution. And then the next part of that is what free tools can I use? That's here. That's number two. What free tools can I use? So free tools. Let's just do this here. Pardon me if I'm using the wrong font, but whatever. You only need two free tools to make this happen. The first free tool that you need is Canva. That's what I'm using right now to show this to you. The second free tool you need is Veed, and there's a free version of Veed. So here's why you need Canva. I'm going to go to Canva right from the beginning. I want to create a social graphic about education. There, I'm just going to write that in. And you can see here, it's come up with all of these awesome social graphics that you could start using. Now, the paid version, you know it's a paid version when there's like a little crown near it, but these look like they're all free. I'm on the paid version, right? So you want to create a social graphic, awesome. You can do this. If you want to include your picture in it, we could do a social card. I'm just going to type social card and education as one more. So let's imagine that one of these strikes you and you want to put your picture in there. So let's just pick one of these. I don't know. I I don't feel strongly about any of these, so I'm just gonna. Oh, that's a pro one. I want to show you a free one. See how that has the little crown? That's a pro one. This one's not a pro one. So then you customize this template. Oh, and you can see this is actually like a presentation. So that's kind of neat. But I could just use this as a social card. I could just download this one as a social card. Go over here to elements, and then I want to search for a frame like this. And then I'm going to pop this frame right here. And then I can go to my uploads and find a picture of me when I didn't look like this. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I didn't look like this then. This is like 2 weeks ago. Put a picture of me, put a picture of yourself there. I don't know. You know what? I'll put a better one. People are like, who's that guy? Downloads. Here. There. This will be better for you. I just dragged this from my there. There you go. That's better. And now you put your picture in there, and now you download this and you have your social graphic, all for free. That's the first one. And then Veed is pretty cool. What I love about Veed is it's going to allow you to record videos. Real simple. So here in Veed, you can choose your camera. You could just record your screen. You could record your screen and your camera. You could also record over here, by the way, this Canva thing here. Here it is. In this thing. Come on. 3, 2, there. You could go here to present and record. Present and record. Here, you could do that here as well. But if you wanted to just make your basic recording, just go here, turn on your camera, allow. Here I am. What's up? And then I just click record, and now I got a recording that I could download and share. I could share it onto social media. So real simple. Real simple. And then you could choose the size if you want to do this like that. Oh, wow, look at this. And now I could record this and I could do a little dance, put it on TikTok and make no money from it. So don't do that. Speaking of don't do that. All right, everybody cool with that? So those are the two that I would recommend. And now finally, filed under don't do that. Let me just check in. By the way, Sally, really so very grateful for you. Don't do this. So this dude connects with me on LinkedIn. Sorry, I tried to make it so you didn't know if it was whoever it was. This person, let me rephrase that. This person connected with me on LinkedIn. This is their first message to me. Thanks for connecting. I reached out personally because I assist professionals like you in building, manager run franchises. If you look at my LinkedIn, there is literally nothing on there about franchises, allowing you to either continue working or fully transition out of the corporate world. If you look at my LinkedIn, within a half a second, you can tell I'm not in the corporate world. We currently have a few openings that would align well to your skill set. Really? And then, I'd love to set it up. And then the PS, right? And then the PS. Don't just don't slam people with a sales pitch. Nobody wants a sales pitch through DM ever. They don't want, no one wants to be pitched through direct message. People hate this, and they will end up hating you at the same time. And I don't want them to hate you. I want them to see you as the solution that they're looking for. And you do that with your content on social media as just described. So don't slam people with a sales pitch. This is embarrassing. I have embarrassment for this person, secondhand embarrassment that this is their marketing strategy. This is terrible. It's offensive. This shows me this person took no time whatsoever. They're pretending to know about me with what they wrote in these very generic, wide open terms. They're pretending to know. Professionals like you, I think is what they said in here. Yeah. But they spent zero time looking at who I am. So they don't know. So it's offensive. And people won't like you for this. So stop. Stop doing this. There are better ways. A lot better ways. And here we are, friends. We are approaching the top of the hour, which means I'm going to have to go because I have a 1 o'clock coming up after this. You guys on YouTube, thank you so much for being here. The link is in the chat if you want to brainstorm with me and get some ideas. It's especially good if you already have a business, but a special invitation to Sally USA. Is that your last name, USA? It's not, Sally USA. To hop on a call, and within 4 questions, I will tell you exactly what you should be doing. And I'll even give you a plan to do it. All right, I'm going to shut the YouTube down, come back over. So thanks. I hate leaving YouTube with people still here. I hate it. I would rather everybody just jumped off, but I feel guilty because I feel like I could continue to be of service to you, but I really do got to go. So with that, I say YouTube, I say farewell to you.